This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, fine. So, like today, I will take the Power BI classes and I'll stop it. And tomorrow, I will take the last class of the SQL, okay, which I left it, and we can finish it up. So, let's start it today. Hope I'm able to see my screen. Please confirm. Able to see my screen?
Yeah, yes, Samir.
Right. Let's go to the Power Query. So, Shailaja, just go through the first introduction, whatever I did in the Power BI, like
Mm-hmm.
how things are working. Just go through that. I think it's not that much difficult, whatever you've done in the last class. Okay?
Yeah.
Sure. Okay, so we have done something like we have extracted the sales, yes, and the regions we have done, customer also we have done it, product also, the required columns we pull it up here. Alright, now go to the customer table here. Here I have one information I have in this city name column, right? If you see the city name column, there is actually three sets of columns, three sets of information available here. Okay. So first is my city name, hmm, then is my state name, and under the bracket, whatever there, no RSMG on all this code, that is called my state code. So inside the city name, I have three columns. One is my city, one is my state, and one is my state code. So the next transformation which you want to do on the customer, that I want to just split this into three different columns. Okay, got it?
Okay.
Okay, sir.
So
I
let's do
mean,
that.
like, yeah, I have one question here. The city name has
But
all the three included? All three, whatever you said now, all three
yeah,
are
if you see
included.
the, yeah, before comma, whatever there, it is called my city. And before
Uh,
this
uh,
part, it's called my state. And in bracket, whatever there, no, that is called state code.
okay.
Okay. So I have couple of options I have. Just select this and you will get the option called split column. Okay.
Mhm.
But the split column here will not work. Why? Because split column works by delimiter, by number of character, by position, all these things. So by delimiter, suppose you have a properly
Comma.
comma, 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 everything. So I just put a comma, it will just split the three columns into one column into three columns based on the comma. But here our problem is that we have some comma, then sometimes there is a bracket, all these things we have, right? So one of the scenario is split, but in this case it will not work. But I have another choice here. Okay, so I will go to the transform tab. Okay, then there is an option called where is that option? Yeah, extract.
Mhm.
Okay, so I have a first character, last character, range, text before delimiter, text after delimiter, text between delimiter. All these things I have the options. So I will use this option to create it. Now, there is a very good understanding here we'll do with that. So the if you click on this option, no, this option extract, if you go to the transform tab and if you go to the add column tab also, there will be the same option available.
Mhm.
This is a typical feature in Power Query. Okay, the same option will be available in the transform tab as well, and sometimes that same option will be available in the add
Yeah.
column also. Okay, basic difference between these two is just I will let you know that you need to remember always. Suppose I selected my city name. I select means this is a highlight. Okay, It will be dark green. This is selected. Now I will go to the transform tab and say extract. Okay. Say before comma I want to extract it. So before to comma, whatever things are there, this part I want to extract. So I say text before delimiter. Like text before delimiter, I will put a comma here. So I know that before comma, whatever there, I want to extract. So where I click on the transform menu. Okay. I didn't go to the add column. Okay. Just like, okay. What happened now?
It
The
perform
same
on.
column,
Oh, sorry, sir.
it performed on the same column itself, and that got changed. I'm not seeing the original column now. Unless until if you go back to my steps, this is my original column. And when I done it in the transform tab,
Hmm.
then what happened? The same column got changed. Okay. So this is the behavior of the transform. So whichever the menu you choose on the transform, it will perform on the existing column itself. And it will change the existing column itself. Whereas if you just delete. Now click on setting, same formula. If I go to the add column, now extract text before delimiter, the same option. Now if I click on the comma here, if we click on OK, what will happen? It will create a separate column itself instead of doing the transformation on the original. That is the difference. Add column. Got it? This part is clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now this one this is I extracted, which is nothing but my city name. So we want to just rename this column, right? The heading. So it is saying that text before delimiter. So I say this is my city. This is my city. Okay. Got it? This is my city I extracted. Now I will click again on the city name. Now I want to extract this part. Whatever the things I have. After the comma and before the first parenthesis, right? So like the open parenthesis, whatever things are available on this part that I want to extract, that is nothing but my state. Okay. So I will go to my add column because I want to add a column only, right? So I don't want to touch the original. So I will click on the add column, extract, then this time what I will use? Just think once.
Extract the
Text between
delimiter.
delimiters. Text between delimiters.
Text between delimiter. So what will be my delimiters?
Comma and open parenthesis.
Good.
What if both are commas here?
Comma, comma, you will put.
Okay.
We'll put comma, comma. Suppose in this case,
Okay. Yeah.
everything is comma, no? I will go for the split column and just split it by the comma itself, by 3 columns. That's it.
Mhm.
Okay. So now this is done. This is one step. So I will tell one more good way to do that. So what we have done, if you see the applied steps here. So first we have done the inserts text before delimiter to extract this part,
Sit.
the city name. Then we renamed column. So 2 steps. Okay.
Mm.
Now we extracted the state. Again, if you double click on that and rename, it will open up another steps here. So suppose you don't want to do that somehow to decrease the steps, no? What we will do on the same steps itself, just expand the formula bar. Okay. I think this one. Yeah. So text between the name column here. This part. So this is the name of the column, right? Text between delimiter is coming on the same formula, right? So here we can directly change. So I can say state, but careful. while doing it. Otherwise, it will throw an error. See, in one step only, I rename all right directly. There is no steps. Rename column at least. Okay. This is one of the way also we can do it. Alright? This makes sense, or you want me to repeat this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now the last part in the city name, you want to extract the state code, which is there on the open parenthesis and close parenthesis. This is quite easy.
Mm.
Extract again text between delimiters. Okay. So I will show
Okay.
you this. This will two ways. Okay. First is start delimiter open parenthesis
Mm.
and is my close parenthesis. So in between whatever there, I will choose it here. Okay.
Mm.
So I will not rename now this one. So it is getting me the state code. I will show you another very important way that will be really helpful. Okay, that I will show you now. So this is one way to get it your text between delimiter. Another way is that city name, just select it. In the add column, no, we have some options here. You see, column from example, custom column, invoke. So we'll discuss one by one, conditional column, all this thing. But now I want to focus on column from example. What is this
Mhm.
column from example? I will show you first in Excel so that it will be easier. And this is very powerful. Okay, so what you are doing is, suppose you are writing something here. So like student 101. Okay, then on the second step, I am writing student 102. And then you are selecting both, right? And whenever you are dragging it, what will happen? It will 103, 104, 105, 106. Automatically it is coming, right? 102, 103, 104, whatever maybe. So because there is some spelling. So it is following some patterns based on your selection. It is next, it is going through like some pattern. See, 101, 102, 102, 103, 103, 104, something like some patterns is automatically Excel is coming up with. Same, if you put 1, then if you do 2, and if you select it, then if you dragged it, right? So it will go on like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Correct? Have you tried this in the Excel?
Yes.
Yes,
Mm.
sir.
So this is the what how it is identifying. So based on whatever you selected, the intelligence is there for the Excel that okay, it's suggesting that okay, you are planning to increase the number by one. So based on that, whenever dragging it, it is just incremented by one when till the time you drag. This is the example of the column from examples in Power Query. So we will give a pattern. Based on that, all the columns will start reflecting on that way. Okay. So let's get into the action. You got it, the point?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
So what we will do now, select the city name here and click on the column from examples. Okay. So there are two options, from all columns or from the selection, because I want to do for this selection only. No? So I will click on the from selection. Now it will open up a table, open up a column actually here directly for you. And on this one, no, I'll just double click on the first row of this column and I will try to write what exactly you want to extract from this CE, right? From this CE, from this RJ, RS, MG, all this thing, correct? Yes or no? From this part
Yes.
is you want to extract CE, right? So type
Yes.
CE directly. Okay. Now, after you're writing the CE, okay, just enter. See the magic of the column from examples. Automatically, it is taking up the
Oh,
patterns, right?
okay.
Very beautiful, very powerful. I'm saying very powerful. So it automatically took the next column as RJ, RS. You understand that I'm trying to extract that. But
Yes. Yes.
sometimes you need to just be careful whenever you're writing this. Sometimes what happen after 3, 4 rows, the patterns got changed. So just careful that just see through, just see through. If all looks good to you or first 50 columns or 30 columns is looking good, then we are good on that. Okay. So now, yeah, we are good now. This is okay. Now I'll put OK here. So it will create another column with the same features. So this one and this one. So this one I extracted using the extract then between delimiter. This one I extracted through the column from example. Alright. So but this column from example is very good actually. I can say very good. Okay. Now you have the choice. Either of the you can choose it. Let me check. Let me delete some steps. So this is okay, state I extracted. Then I have extracted the. Okay, I will delete this between delimiters now. I don't want. So I will take this column, which is I did it from the column from examples only. No? Then I will rename directly here only. The text between delimiters dot one it is coming. No? So this part I will say my state code. Okay, now this is my state code. Okay, so now from the city name, we have extracted the city, the state, and my state code. Now I don't need this column at all, right? Because I have three different columns exactly. So I'll just remove it. Right click on this and remove. Okay, so this is my customer table. Customer name, customer key, customer, business type, city, state code. Alright, make sense? Okay. Now let's try to go to the product. Product, let me check anything you have here. Product key, product size.
And column
We are good.
also.
We were good. Nothing is
Here, I mean,
Go ahead.
yeah, Samir. Here, actually, I mean, like, is it a raw kind of data? I mean, like, it's not in formatted properly. So we are doing this. I mean, like, the table into
Correct.
proper
Correct.
way.
Correct. Absolutely. So I'll tell you one real life story to you. Okay. When you are working on Power BI, this is a huge case. So in Power BI, whenever you are working on a real-time Power BI project, so there are two user base actually. Okay. One user base will come, the client I can say, client will come from Excel background, the core Excel. Okay. Core Excel means everything they are doing till now on Excel. Okay. Transformation, reporting, pivot, everything they are on Excel. So that user you want to convert it into Power BI. This is one of the work we need to do, and we can't deny on this. This is one of the user base. Second is the normal database users. Means in the sense the underlying things are the database like SQL Server or Snowflake or Azure SQL database or Oracle or whatever maybe. That is one more base. In this case, if your underlying things are database, so these are things will not that handy. The Power Query will not because all the standardization, normalization, the formatting, everything is done in the database one. Okay. So just we need to import it, create the model, create the DAX, and create the visualization. But one part which is there on the Excel, right? All these things you should do it because Excel, it's a like manual entry, right? So whenever importing to the Power BI, so much problem will be there. Headings, nulls, all these things. So you need to take care everything, clean the data properly, then you can work on this. That makes sense now?
Yeah, in the first scenario, we need to clean the data
Yeah,
properly
but in the
to make
yeah,
reports.
sometimes in the database areas also we need to clean. Clean the sense as per our requirement, I need to just modify my data. That also we need to
Yeah.
do. So you need to understand Power Query properly.
Oh,
There is no
okay.
denying on it. Okay. And this is a very powerful tool. Okay. Very powerful Power Query. Okay. So now on that note, this is my product is done. Now, okay, let's go to the sales and just see once. Yes, this is one more problem I have here. Right. So see, I don't know. I think your system will not have this problem at least. If you see this unit price and my standard cost, right? How it is coming for you? Can you
Unit
somebody
price
confirm?
and wait a minute. Unit price and 1.37 on point. Like it's the same way 1.37 and
With a dollar sign?
oh yeah, with not with dollar sign.
And what is the
It's
data type for you? It is coming
data type. It says dollar.
dollar, right? Yeah, that's correct.
Hmm.
So here, what is happening is, for me, if I wants to change to dollar, it is like the fixed decimal number. Okay, because there
Hmm.
is a decimal number, I want to put it in a fixed decimal number. The problem which I will face here on my system is, and this is a good use case. Let's do that. So if I wants to change this two columns to my fixed decimal number in the dollar side, right?
Hmm.
So I will get error.
Hmm.
Okay. For my system, it will get error. For you guys, this is not a problem, but this is a very good use case. We'll try to resolve this. Okay. Now, why it is happening, that we need to understand. First of all, you need to understand that when the data is getting captured in a dollar, right? And my system or my laptop regional settings is at India, correct? So
Hmm.
whenever I'm changing the data type of this, the dollar it is not able to identify as a currency in my system. So that's why it is saying that throw an error. And this is a very typical setting. This will come for the currency columns and even on the date format also. Okay. So let's imagine that you are working for a client from Middle East or somewhere in the UK and you are sitting on US. So their currency on UK, right? So they send us a file in UK format, the pound or whatever the format we have, the euro format. And when you are try to change it to the currency here, in this case, the fixed decimal number, that is also will not work because you are on the dollars. Okay. And even on the date, suppose in US you following MMGDYYY. This is the format you are following. In India, we will follow DDMMYYY. In some other countries also they followed DDMMYYY. So there is a change of different format across the countries. So that also will make an error here. So whenever they send the data in DDMMYY, and when I'm on the sitting on the US, I try to change the into date type, no? It will also throw an error to me because that formats are not there. Correct. So how to handle this? Okay. The first way to handle this is I will go to my file option. Okay. File,
Options.
options and settings, options. Okay. Then I
Yes.
have one settings called the regional settings here. Then I will change it here. Okay, this will be for you, it will be the US. Okay. So for me it is English India, but I will not change because I have other application which I am working. So that will get an impact for me because other projects I have on the Power BI. So that I don't want to change it here. So this is somehow is a global setting. So there are two settings here if you see. Here also one regional setting is there and one is regional setting here also it is there. But this is my global setting, but this is my current file setting. Current file setting is this. Okay. So here we can change, but I can say that unless until you are sure that, look, suppose in a company this is not a problem because if you are working on the US, unless until you make sure that you are working for the Middle East client or the any kind of UK client regular basis, then only I think it's better to change in the regional setting. or sometimes only once in a while you are working, don't change it here because that will impact to other reports also. Every time you need to come back and change again. So what is the other way to do it? Let's cancel this. Now I have one option here. If you just click on this data type, no, the last option is there, using local. Okay, that option is using local.
Oh,
Now what I will do, now I will change to fixed decimal number, but not based on the English India, but it will be based on the English United States now for this particular column itself. Let's choose that. Yeah, this one. So now if I change it in this way to the fixed decimal number based on the English United States, right? Okay. Now if I change, I will get my data properly, what I am expecting here. Okay, that makes sense.
mm.
So it will change type with local. Now I will do for my standard cost as well. Click on the using local. Then I will change it to fixed decimal number. Okay, then I will choose the same. Right? So this is okay. So this is the one way. So for you, this is not a problem for on your system, guys. But I will give you one more example. Not now, after 2-3 classes. That time I will show you how to change the date as well. This time the dates are okay for me. So let's see. Okay. Now this is the one part. We done it on the sales, which is good. And finally we'll see how to tackle the regions. What is this? Refresh. 2 years old. Okay. So now just imagine. Now I've come to the region table here. The region table have the state and my regions. Okay. So these are the two information I have. When I go to my customer table, let's try the customer table. Okay, it is in the sense if you not use this file for 2 days or 3 days, no, it will show you unless there is no data update, but it will show you that just try to refresh it. So better to do like this, refresh all. Okay, so it will just refresh and it will not uh, show you that one. Okay, now come to the customer table here. In the customer table, I have the state code here. If you see CERJ, which we extracted here, which is same as the region state code here. DFG, RJ, everything is there. Okay. And apart from that, I have one center list, which is called the region column. Now, why I should keep the question is up to you guys. Like this region table have only state information and region information. In customer, I have already the state information is available. So why can't you do like take this region column itself and bring it to customer? Unless just question is take the region column and bring it to the customer itself. It means in customer I should have the region information here in this column. We'll take one more extra column and this table I don't want to see. I don't want this table at all. Okay. Is that the valid scenario or what do you think here? Or it should be the separate table? This is a question. You got the question first of all? Tell me any doubt on the
Yes,
question? I can explain you one more time.
like for just for the reason, why do we have one separate table?
Okay, yeah. So
So it
because
will be,
already the state information is available on my customer, right?
mm,
State code
so we
information. I
can.
don't.
I think it's not required another table because we are not. Like we are not getting more any other information other than the region over there, so we
Right.
can move it to customer.
But sir,
We can
for
move it
other
custom.
tables, product or sales, If we need to know the
No,
reason, then we have to.
no, at that time that will which relationship will work out, right? Customer to sales,
Okay.
product to
Yeah.
sales, everything will be joined back again. No, the model is not. We are just working on the table cleaning now. So
Then we
now
can.
how to
Mm.
correct. So this concept is what? To bringing the region column from the region table to customer. Which concept of SQL this is?
Joints.
Join.
Joins, right? Yes, that is called joins. Okay. So now I will go to my customer table here, and for the join, the name in Power Query is called the merge queries. Okay. So here in the home tab, there is an option called
Mm.
merge queries. Okay. It is
Mm-hmm.
nothing but your join only. Okay. So I have two choices here, merge queries and merge queries is new. So what is merge queries is new? Once you done your join, it will create a separate table itself with that. But I don't require in this case. So I just want to change the existing only the customer. So I'll go to the first option, merge queries. Now here I have choice. So what I need to do from the customer and my region, this two column I need to select based on
Mm.
what? State code only, right?
Good.
State
Yeah.
code and
Yes.
state code.
Great.
And it will be left outer join. Whatever there in the customer, it will show you. Whichever is not there, it will be blank. That makes sense? Because in the
Mm.
region table, there could be some region which is there, but it will be not there in the customer also, right? That could be one scenario. So I will take left join from the customer. I bring all the customer information, and whichever regions I found it in my region table, I will put it. Otherwise, I will put no, null. Okay?
Mm.
That
Okay.
Okay.
makes sense.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So I have some join kinds, so many options. I think you know left, right, full, and inner. You know this four. You know there are two separate joins are there that is related to the Power BI itself. That is called the left NT and right NT.
Mm.
We'll discuss that part. That too how that is not there in the SQL Server. Okay. So this just to left NT and right NT. We'll discuss that. But right now, let's go to the left outer, right outer. This four you know that already. So let's go to the left outer here and click on OK. Okay. Now what will happen is it will bring a complete table from the region.
Mm.
Okay.
Okay.
Complete table into the customer. Now if you see, I told you that there is a preview section yesterday, right? Just click on the right hand side on the blank area of the table. It will give you a complete table. See, it is bringing CE and Northeast on these two table columns. It is bringing for this. Now, if you click on this, it will give you the state code and the corresponding region. Same. Each and every record is a table here, which consists of two columns. One is state and one is the region.
Mm.
Right?
Mm.
Now, from this table, what I need? I need only this column only, na? This region column.
Mm.
I don't require this column actually because this information is already there in my table.
Yes.
That's correct.
Mm.
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 So for that, you click on this table expand. Okay, this button. Click on this expand, and from here, this option don't click on this. Just first click on this. What is the problem? We'll see. Then I will just delete it and then uncheck this option. So from this table, what information I need? Only region, right? I don't
Mm.
require the state information. Now click on the OK. I'm just enable this tick box. Okay, let's see what will happen. Now click on OK. So the name would be like this. It will say region dot region. It means this is coming from the region table with the name as region table. That's why the checkbox is there. Okay. Instead of that, just delete this step now. Now I will expand one more time without this checkbox. Use original column as prefix and I will put region. That's it. Now it will come as region.1. That's fine. That is fine. But it will not give you the what do you call the name? What do you call the table name there? Okay. Now you can change the name here again to the region. So let's try to do that here itself, the last one. Okay, so now I have got my region table here. Okay, now one thing here. This done. Let's try to load this data into Power BI. So what we'll do now? This is
Close
my
and
Power
apply.
Query. Close and apply. So now how many tables will get loaded? Just
All,
see and tell.
all
Three
All four.
tables.
three. Yeah,
Why three
three.
tables?
The
Reason is no
region,
more.
yeah, we are not deleted, right? Yeah, it's there. Yeah.
We have not deleted, right?
Oh,
So not I had not deleted. So it will load four, right? So let's try to load. So all four got loaded. Okay. Now the point is here is that do you really require this region table to load here? Because I already have the information in my customer table, this information. So I don't require this table at least, right? That makes
yes.
sense. So what I will do for that? Can I delete this table?
You cannot
Yes,
delete from here, but you can hide it.
If I delete it, what will be the problem? Can we allow to delete
Oh,
it first of all?
mm, no,
mm,
because customer it
uh,
is related with this.
Right click, try to delete. It will not allow to delete
mm,
Yes.
because
yes,
I'm using something in this my customer table, right?
Mm-hmm.
And second thing is, so tomorrow, let's see on this table, some new region got added up in your Excel file or from wherever your data source is there. So that also needs to be updated into the customer, right? That makes sense. So tomorrow, let's take any extra region came up and suppose 17 rows I have. 18th rows got added with the new region
Mm-hmm.
with their state code. So as per the logic, this information from the 18th one, this is also should go to the customer, right? As per the joins. And it will reflect here, this last column. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
okay.
So I can't delete this table at all. This is impossible to delete it. So what we can do is that option is from the Power Query, we will not load this table to Power BI. Which table? The region. But it will sit on the Power Query and any kind of refresh happen to the region table, the refresh will happen. In the sense, any kind of data refresh to the table, that will happen. And the same will go to the customer, but will not load this table to the Power BI. That we need to do it. That makes sense?
Hmm.
Clear the concept? Okay. So for that, what we need to do, right click on this table. Then there is two options here. One is called enable load and include in report request. So these two options. So what does it mean? Enable load means this table will load to the Power BI and include in
Mm-hmm.
report refresh in the sense whenever you are refreshing your data, this table also will refresh. Okay. But in this case, what I need to refresh my table, but I don't want to load this table into the Power BI. That's option, right? So I will click on this first option to deactivate. So it will make
Mm-hmm.
the region table to disable the load. Okay. So if I click on this, disable load, is saying it will give a warning, it's saying that possible data source data loss warning. Let's continue because we know that there will be no issue with it. Now what will
Uh,
happen?
S- mm. Samir, can I
There
ask
will
one?
be, please go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah. You said include. Can you show options again? Unable to load, and other one is what?
Include report replace.
It means updating, right?
Correct. So
Okay.
any kind of update happen to this table, that will be done. That will be done.
Only in
Means in
this
sense,
table, not in the customer table.
now in the customer table also.
Oh,
But ultimately, it will go to the customer table because we have a join, right?
okay.
Basically on this column. So that will flow.
Oh,
Only thing is it will not load to the Power BI. That's it.
okay. Thank you.
Yeah? So this is disabled. So two things. Suppose somebody can ask you that from this four table which is disabled. By looking at that column itself, we can able to know. So whichever is disabled, no, that is the name will come in italics. Okay. Second, there will be one liner will come here on the left hand side of the table, one green line. So this table is we are not loading to the Power BI. Okay. Other three tables we are loading it. Okay. So this is the indication of the disable load for this region. Okay. Now
Oh,
let's close and apply. So now if you see, only three tables will get loaded here. See, customer, product, and sales. But region is there. It will work on the report refresh whenever you are refreshing. The region table also will reflect, and from there, as per the join, my customer, this column also will get reflected automatically if there is any change. That makes sense to you? This is clear?
yes.
Okay. So now let's go to transform data again. This is the first. This is we are slowly building up the way we worked in real time. Okay, this is the way. Now what I will do here, I'll create some group in the sense my customer and my product, these are dimensions, right? And sales is nothing but my facts in the sense, you know, the
Attribute.
dimension facts concept,
Hmm.
everybody
Yes, sir.
knows that.
I don't know, Samir.
Okay, nothing. Okay, so the dimension and facts is something like the facts are where the numbers are present, like in this case the sales where I have the numbers, right? Like price, standard cost, discount, quantity, all this column. On which table it is present, that table is called your fact table. And where the others one like customer, product, all these things, those are called the dimensions, non-numeric part, right? So this is a one concept is always works on the BI, that is called the dimension and modeling. Dimension and the fact, this is the difference, nothing much difference is there. Now
Okay.
what, yeah, so I want to just group it here, just to group, just to showcase. What I will do, right click on the blank area of this one and new query, sorry, new group. Okay, I will create a group here. I'll put the name called dimensions. Okay, I'll create a group called dimensions, and on the dimension, I will drag the customer and my product. So by this way, you can able to understand that, okay, I have two dimension on my current model. Okay, and I will create another group here, which is nothing but my facts. And the facts I will drag my sales. Right now this is, and other queries I'm putting my region because anyway we are not loading this table to that's right.
Hmm.
You can put it in other queries. But this is not will reflect on the Power BI. This is just the grouping in Power Query itself because Power Query is the backbone, right? Whenever you are coming to the Power BI desktop and opening your Power Query, you can able to know that okay, yeah, by looking at only you can able to understand okay, I have two dimension, one fact right now, and other queries is one that we are not loading. So by this grouping concept you can able to know that. Okay, that makes sense.
Hmm.
Can you explain once again? Some a little bit confusion to me.
What is the confusion, tell me?
The dimensions and the facts thing. Can you explain
Nothing.
one?
Dimension and fact is, dimension is something like where the fact, okay, let's go to the fact table. Fact table is something like where the numbers are present, numerics. Like in this case, the sales table contain the quantity, standard cost, unit price, all these things are there. Now that table is treated as a fact table.
Okay.
And whereas the supportive things, the lookup tables, like custom, let's say I want to ask you one question that how many customer did the sales on 2020? So customer, I will look into the table customer, but the count, how much sales happened, that I will look into the sales table, right? So in this case, the customer is my dimension and sales is my factor. This is the way it will work.
Okay.
That makes sense? Yeah?
Yeah.
And
Yes.
here what we are doing, the grouping, this is for our understanding. Nothing to, if you not do this grouping by group, different folders, no, nothing will happen. But in a real-time project, this we always do because there are a number of tables will be there, no? So to better group it, like these are my dimensions table, and these are my fact table. So anybody comes up to the Power Query, they will be able to understand from this. Okay, by seeing this group itself, they can able to understand. Okay, these are the dimensions, these are the facts, these are the things. This is for our understanding to create the group here. Okay, this is
Okay.
nothing to related to any kind of group like group by or all these things. That is not the case. Just like a folder structure you are creating here.
Okay.
That's it.
My mind is shifting between these two. That's why. So thank you.
Okay. Yeah. So this is nothing to do with that. Okay, that's fine. So now this is okay. Now what we'll do is that now we have done with the sales. Okay. Now we have another file called target. So ultimate goal on this project is to compare the sales and target, right? So let's try to import the one more file, which is my target. So let's do that. So I will go to my new source, Excel workbook, and this file, the target file. We have worked with the sales report already. Now click on the target file, and there are two information we have. One is the supervisor, and one is called my target. Okay, let's see what we will do with these tables. Okay, just open. So just refreshing again, refresh all. Now I have my target table and my supervisor tables came up. We'll see where you need to put all these things. But right now, let's try to understand what we can do on the target. Now, first of all, one problem I have immediately on the target table. So I'm saying that I need to compare the sales with my target. Now, if you see the sales table, you go to the sales table, I have the data at day level, 28/2/2013. 31st July 2013. So I have the data at day level, date, month, year, and everything. Okay, correct? Correct or not?
Hmm.
Hello.
Sir. Yes, sir.
And where I go to the target, I don't have
Yes.
any date. I have year and month.
Hmm. Hmm.
This is challenging now. So both are on different level of granularity. Granularity, you know what is granularity? Granularity means the the data on which level of data it is showing. It says is a date level, whereas the target by file it has year and month level. There is no date level for me. Okay, so the lower granular is at sales. So sales is more granular, and the target is less granular. And this kind of problem we will face in Power BI, that the both the datas are not at the same level of, one is at date level, one is at month and year level. So, and we need to compare these two also. So first point first is that I need to bring my target table to the sales granularity. So I need to
Hmm.
somehow bring the target table to the date level. Then only I can compare this two table. Otherwise, impossible. Got it? Any
Hmm.
questions on this part? Just think once, okay? This is quite very important, okay? These are the cores. You got the
It
point? What I'm
means,
trying to explain. Go ahead.
yeah, it means in the target table, whatever the date, year it's showing, right? It's having less granular. Is that
Correct,
correct?
correct,
Like the higher level data is less granular. If it
correct.
is, okay.
So now somehow we need to, based on the year and month, I need to build one date table. Now you can ask me the question there, sir, is like I don't have any date. So I will consider this, I will consult with whenever am I working with the client. No, if this situation comes up, I'll ask that I don't have a date. And this is the problem on the sales table. How I will do? I will suggest them, okay, fine, there is no date. I will take the date as the first day of each month. Okay, so 2013 January 1st, 2013 February 1st. I will note on the date, I will take first. If they suggest different way, then we'll take a little different way in the text. But right now, I am going with my approach saying that this is the first day of January that I am going to bring it here. Make sense here? Clear? What I'm trying to say is clear or not?
Yeah, it's good.
Okay, so now what we will do, click on the year and control and place the month. These two selections should be there. And you should select properly, okay? You can't select directly. First you select month and select year. So what will happen when you are merging these two columns? It will be January 2013. So first selection is very important when you are try to merge these two columns, okay? First you need to select year, then you need to select the month. Then right click on this, then there is an option called merge columns. Okay, this two column I want to merge it. Okay, so I will say here target date. Okay, so it will combine 2013 January, 2013 Feb, all these things. Okay, make sense? Now from here I can just convert it into date. So it will take first, there is no date, no, it will take 1st January, everything. The date will take one only automatically. See, now I got my date right properly. That makes sense? Hello.
So it will take only first,
Correct.
like
Because I don't
first.
have a choice of the, I don't have any choice of the dates, right? So I'll take first only.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is, I have done it. So few things we left it in my customer, I guess. Okay,
What
if you see
if
this,
you want to, yeah, I have one question here.
I,
What if
I,
you
I
want,
hmm.
if
So
you want to,
sorry, I know your question. That
Mhm.
answer I will give when I will do some DAX operation. Okay, not now.
Okay.
I got the choice. Like suppose you have like date is different, right? So what you will do there?
Mm.
Yes,
Yeah.
that answer I will answer in different way. But right now just go through with this. Okay. Okay. Now few things I have forgot to do it, which is the customer no. Did I change the data type here? No. So just cross check everything is okay. So after your all the transformation finish on the customer, no, just select one column, Control A, select all the columns, and go to the Transform tab, and there is an option called Detect Data Type. So it will automatically detect the data type, which is nothing but the change type. And just carefully observe what is things are happening. The customer is number, string, 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 string. Everything is string. Okay, this is looking good to me. And same I will do for the product. I will just Control A, sorry, Control what here, Control A. Okay. Now transform, detect the data type. So product name is ABC, ABC, ABC. Yeah, this looks good. The sales. See, these are not date right now. This is ABC 123. No, that's what. I will Control A and say detect the data type. So now it becomes the dates, ship date, order date, due dates are shipped, sales order number, customer key, product key, unit price, standard cost, discount percentage. Looks good. Now target we are done. Target we are done with the date. This is region is on. hmm, This is on string. This is on 1.2, which is good. Okay. Now let's try to understand the supervisor. In the supervisor, what transformation I need to do by seeing that already we did it. long time. What? Only one transformation is required in this case. What is that?
Column header.
Column header. Okay. Which first row as header. Okay, that is okay. Now I think the data types are looking good. Now here one question to you. Okay. In the target, I have one region. This and the sales, what about the customer? I have the region. Both are different because that is target region. This is my sales region. So both are different. But whereas the supervisor where they are working, right? The regions which are there, this is nothing but my related to my sales region only, okay, where the supervisors are working. And on this one, I have another column which is called my the supervisor, sales supervisor. This is okay. So now in my customer table, we bring the region table, region column from my normal region table only, right? Just now we did it. Correct now? Hello.
Yes.
Mm.
Now my question is, since I have another table called supervisor here, where I have the region as well and my supervisor as well. So just thinking of, instead of bringing the region from this table to customer, if I bring the region and the supervisor from this table to the customer, then I will get another extra column in my customer table, which is the supervisor. What do you think? Is it this good or that is good?
Yeah, this one is good. I think we can bring two columns, right?
Mhm.
So you're asking for bringing this current supervisor and reason in customer table.
Correct.
Oh,
Mhm.
both
This
both
is,
are different, right? Why we have to merge them?
sorry, come again. What is the question?
Both are different, right? Supervisors are the one who is working in the company, right? The customers are totally different, right? Why we have to merge them?
No, it's not merging of that. So I want to see the customer who is doing my business and they are part of which region, and on that region which are the supervisors. So I will bring it in a one table information only, because finally when I'm comparing, suppose the supervisor, let's take supervisor has performed the sales properly or not. So for one like supervisor information, why I will keep another table? So let's bring it to the any of the table if you want. But in this case, I can bring it to the customer because customer is also part of a region, and supervisor also can part of a region. So both are
Region.
on the same level. So I can put it there. That's it.
Yeah.
If that makes sense to you, just think once, okay? Don't take me, whatever I'm saying, take it blindly. Just try to understand, visualize yourself, put it into the sales model, then try to understand.
Yeah. It's totally good. It will be in one table only, right? I got it.
Correct, correct. Yeah. So all the information will be in one table. Why we will create a separate table for the supervisor? Because supervisor, I can keep it in my customer and I can compare that with the sales and with the product. Suppose one product, how many supervisors did the sales? So all this calculation I can do it very easily if I bring it to another. Otherwise, separate table also we can keep it, but that will not make handy because this information is already there in the customer. And just think like suppose you are doing a purchase on certain region, right? So for that region there is a supervisor, so something like that. So why can't I put it this two information? Maybe the customer is not a supervisor, or supervisor is not a customer, but both are what do you call sharing one common, that is the regions. So I can just put it into one table so that I can compare other things like sales, target, and my which product they sold, everything I can do it. So that's why I'm bringing it. That makes sense to you now?
Yes, yes, sir.
Everybody clear on this page?
But we did
Hmm.
normalize the tables into different tables yesterday, right? So why do
Yeah.
we need to merge into single table again?
Single table in the sense because the problem is, see, in BI, always the normalization will not work. We need to denormalize also because this is BI, Business Intelligence System. This is not a database, first of all thing. In database, this is fine. We can scatter everything here, but somehow this is a mix of normalization, denormalization. Because the problem here is the more number of tables, the more confusion it will be for you when you are creating the reports. So if certain information can be combined to one table, that is no doubt is a denormalization. We should do it in BI world because the BI world says that the number of tables, the reduction of the table, it is good for the performance. Second, in one table, suppose you have n number of information, right? So what will happen? Suppose you have this as a separate table. Then let's imagine then you want to connect to the sales table, then the same relationship you will move it to the target. Suppose one more fact also come up, then you need to connect to this table to get the information. But instead of that, suppose you denormalized into one table, that is my customer, and I am connected this customer to my sales, then I can answer multiple questions in BI. That one customer, let's take I want to ask you how many customer did the sales on 2020. So in the customer, I have customer name. In the sales table, I have the my date and sales also. I can answer. Next question I will ask you on the southeast region, how many supervisors are available who done proper sales? So in the customer, I have my region, my supervisor. I'll just go to one table to bring up the sales and I can answer it. Right? Otherwise, what will happen if you scattered everything? No, you need to do so many joins. So supervisors, customer, sales, multiple joins you need to do to answer one question. So that is not a good model in the BI world. If
Okay.
did answer I answer your question? That makes
Yes.
sense.
Yeah.
Okay. So you need to think in this way perspective. What my business case, how I want to answer some questions. Okay. And I want to reduce some joins because joins are okay when you are writing on the SQL queries, but when actually real time you work, you should reduce the table, number of tables, so that your performance also will first up. Like uh, one table, two table, three table. How many joins I can provide? It's not possible, right? That's the case. And just think in BI, it is not always normalized. It's a combination of normalized and denormalization. And that model is called your dimensional modeling. This is the modeling always we follow in the BI space. That is called your dimensional modeling. It is a mix of everything. Okay. It is the main thing is dimension modeling. It will be two tables. One is dimension, one is fact, and all will be mixed like denormalized, sometimes normalization, sometimes denormalization. Everything is required. Okay, so this in that sense, I will do one thing. I will go to my customer now. Just this is a question to you. So I bring the region, this last column from this table, right? Now I want to just change to supervisor. Where I will change? I will create another steps here to bring it. Just think and tell me where I will do the changes here.
This above function where we can write, is this fx, what do we say, this function var? Do we need
Hmm,
to change there?
correct. So whatever the steps I applied, that is all captured here, right?
Hmm.
So out of that, which step I created the joins to the region table? This part, right? The merge queries, this step. This is the steps where I joined my customer to my regions table, right? This is the steps which I'm highlighting here. So there is a gear button is there in this case. So just click on this step. Now this is the steps where we are joining to the customer to the regions. So now instead of the region, I will change it to my supervisors in the same steps. Okay, the state code to state code. Okay, now click on OK. Now expand these two steps will not work because it will just bring up the only the region here. But in this case, I want to expand the region and the supervisor both. So let's click on this again on the gear button on the next step and bring the supervisor as well, current supervisor. Okay. Now this is coming in region 1. I will change it here itself. Where is my region 1? This one. I'll change it to region. I'll go to the last. So this is my region and supervisor. Change style. Done. Okay. Now a region table I can delete it right now. This required this table. I'm nowhere I'm using anywhere in this table.
Hmm.
That I'm using, I can delete now. Now it will allow to delete because I'm nowhere I'm using it. Previous to that it was not allowing this, right?
Hmm.
Now I can delete because it's not required. And supervisor table, what I will do? Do I need to load this table to the Power BI?
Use the same thing.
Same thing, right?
Disable the, yeah.
Correct. Disable the load. Okay. And I will bring it to my other queries here, this part. Okay. So this is the model which you are working on. The customer, my product, my sales, and my target. So these are the things we have done. So almost just cross check one more time. Everything looks good to me. Customer, I have my region, I have my supervisor. All right. Then product,
Do we have
I
two
have,
regions in the customer?
do you have? Is it?
Two region columns in the customer table?
No, no, one only.
I mean, like the previous one was replaced, right?
Correct.
Or
Yeah. And the product, I don't have anything. I have good with the product table. Let me check the sales. Order description, customer key, product key, order quantity, unit price, standard cost. Okay. What about my target? Target date, this region, and this looks good to me. And supervisor, I already disabled the load. Okay, fine. So now if we close and apply, this is almost we are nearing to a good model. Okay. All right. So this is, let me save this file. The only thing left here is that uh, let me again go back to the transform so just to save this. All good. Okay. So the only table left here is that, can you identify any table is missing when you are working? Have you worked on any kind of reporting tools before? I'm just asking. It's no, it's fine. Have you worked on any kind of reporting tools before?
No.
Anybody?
Tab Tableau?
Ah, anything. Tableau also you work, right?
Yeah, we learned, sir, in previous class.
Previous class you learned? Which class?
No, with in other batch.
Or is it? Okay. Okay, fine. So now here in this case, always the model will have one more table that is called your calendar table, or we can say the date table. Okay. So that is missing now. The calendar table or my date table. This is really required. Okay. Now you can say one question is always somebody asks me whenever they are new to the customer, new to this BI world, say that this I have already the order date. Yes, I have all the dates. Then why I will create separate date table in my model? Okay, this is question. Maybe you can also you got that question also into your mind. But thing is, two things here. The first of all thing is that when I'm comparing in my sales, is it possible that every date, every day, I have the sales? Is it possible? Sometimes in one day, I don't have any sales, right? Possible scenario. So let's say I'm very running in a small company. So big companies, they don't have this issue, but still. So I'm saying that every day I will not have the sales. So if there is a no sales, I don't have the date in the sales table. But when I'm comparing a time series comparison, right? So in the sense, suppose year over year. So last year how much sales happened, this year what much sales happened. I want to compare. So that time I need a continuous range of dates. Instead of based on the sales date, I should have a separate entity for the date where I will capture all the what do you call all the related date which is are continuous. So this is the one more explanation. I can say that we need to create a date table inside your Power BI. Okay. So now how to create? So main thing is we can create multiple ways actually. Okay. So date table can be created in Power Query, and second one using the DAX. So there are two ways to create the date table or any table inside your Power, Power BI. So let's first understand how to create the Power Query, and then later when you start the DAX modeling, that time I will show you how to create the date table using the DAX. So basically I don't have anything. So from the scratch itself, I need to somehow create the date table because I don't have any such information because I'm connecting to an Excel file, and this scenario will be never possible when you are connecting to the database as well. Okay, because database already will have a date table that we need just to bring it up. Okay. Now in this case, since I don't have anything, I need to start from the blank. Okay. So on the right click on this blank area, new query, there's an option called blank query. Blank query in the sense we don't know anything and we'll write something there. Okay. Click on the blank query. So it will create a blank query for me. Okay. Now to bring a list of dates, so I need a list of dates now. So there is a m function is there for you need to use that. Okay. Equals to I say list, sorry, list. Okay, list dot dates. Okay, this is the form expression which will create a list of dates here. List dot dates. Enter. Two games. Okay, just give me a check. Enter. So when you enter it now, there will be three parameters will come up here. One is your start parameter, one is the count, and how much step size you want to get it. So still my data, whatever the sales I have, this Excel file now, it contains 2013 sales actually. Okay, 1 year of data is available. So I will start from 01/01/2013. Okay, count is 365 days, complete 365, 1 year of data I need a date. So I will say 365. Okay, and step size is 1 because 1 day 1 2 3 4 5 6 everything like that. So step size would be the 1. Okay, now are you there everybody or slept?
No, sir.
Or listening.
So now this is the way I have created. The first starting date would be my January 1st 2013. It will give you the date of 365 days of data, and the step size would be 1. It will be increment by 1 1 1. Okay, now click on the invoke. When you click on the invoke, no, it will create a list of dates started at 1/1/2013, and it will goes to somewhere around 31st December 2013. This is a complete range of list dot created. So in Power Query, there are two concepts. One is list and one is table. So in the list, when you are creating a list, right, we can't do much on that. So we need to somehow need to convert it into table. So automatically when list is coming, there will automatically one transformation will come into picture. So this will convert this
Okay.
list to a table. So just click on that
Mm.
to table. Okay, there will no delimiter. So just click on OK. So automatically one table will be got created. So I will change this table name to say dates. Okay, and the name I will put as date. Okay, and then I will change the data type for this to date. Just think, in a 5-minute quick succession, without anything, there's a blank I have, I created a complete table itself. How much time it took? Took only 5 minutes, right? Just to type this formula, list dot dates. So this is the power of the Power Query. Okay. Now move it to dates to my dimension, because this is a dimension table. Now it is quite easy. Suppose I want to add some columns here, year, month number, weekday, all these things. This is very easy, I can say. Go to the add column, because anyway I want to add that, right? Click on the add column by selecting the date. There is an option called this part, the date. This is quite easy. Year, we'll get the year. Okay. Now select the date. Always select the source. Okay. Don't select this. Then date. Suppose you want the month number. Get the month number here. Select the date, name of the month. You get the name of the month here. Okay. Now suppose you want quarter. I don't need day. The day number will come here. Okay. Then I will say selection of the day. Name of the day. Okay. Is the weekday, nothing but. So you can build anything, this information inside my date table. Alright?
So, sir, in sales table, we have only
Mm,
2013. If we have 2014 and two,
correct.
three more
Good
years,
question. Good
then
question. Yeah, good question. So right now, so this table which I am creating is a very static one. So it will just take only 2013. Good question is that suppose tomorrow in the sales table, suppose 2014 that got added, then there is no use of my date table, right? So I will stop it here. Tomorrow I will make this table more dynamic. So it will depend upon the sales table only. So whenever any kind of update happen to the order date or the ship date or whatever the date I have in this case, my automatically my date table also will get reflected by that. So that we will do tomorrow. So they will take some time. We need to write some code for that. So that I will explain you how to write the code. Okay.
okay, sir.
Now, as of now, this is pure static. Yes. Now I will just close and apply. So now this is my complete model. The only part left here is in this model is to make this date table dynamic, and few here and there changes is there. Then finally we will work with this model itself. Okay. Just save this file. That's it. So that's it for today. Any questions you can ask me now. I'm stopping my sharing and I can stop the recording as well.